R.J. Sigurdson was first elected as a member of the Legislative Assembly for Highwood on April 16, 2019, and was re-elected on May 29, 2023, being sworn in as the Minister of Agriculture and Irrigation on June 9, 2023. He previously served as the Parliamentary Secretary for EMS Reform. Minister Sigurdson grew up working on a 40-acre family farm north of Cochrane. He also found additional work in high school on farms of nearby families. He has been an active volunteer with organizations in his community and enjoys spending time with his family, as well as camping, fishing, and hunting, when you actually do have free time, right? So we would please join me in a round of applause as we welcome Minister Sigurdson to the stage.
Well, thank you so much for inviting me and having me here today. It's so great to be here. You know, it was an early morning getting up and driving down here, but it was a beautiful day, and I guess it gives you a lot of perspective when you drive through the beautiful country on the way here to Medicine Hat and you see all those farms and farming operations. It really humbles me to be the Minister of Agriculture for this province. I also want to acknowledge that today I'm here with my Parliamentary Secretary, Grant Hunter. He has been a huge advocate on behalf of agri-food production development, the agri-food corridor down here. He's such a great representative. I'm so pleased to be working with him on this file. I think him and I share one thing, and we've been saying it over and over again, is we're completely honored to serve on this file for a province that has the greatest farmers and ranchers and producers in the world. We have a great product here in Alberta, something to be extremely proud of. And both him and I wake up every single day with our best foot forward to continue to grow this space and work on this together. Now, of course, today is an important event, especially when we're starting to talk about some of the challenges that agriculture is facing. We know there are going to be continued challenges, one of which may be drought this year, but there's also a lot of other conversations that we can have that we need to really be honest about, and hopefully everyone here can be honest with us and communicate to us what the needs are so we can continue to go up to Edmonton and see what we can change to make it a better space for all producers in the province. Now, agriculture is not just a building block of so many of our communities, it's also a crucial contributor to our economic strength. In Alberta, farmland alone covers an area nearly twice the size of Iceland. And you may ask why I used Iceland as a reference. Well, Sigurdson, that's where my family came from, but that is a large area. Now, thanks to the hard work and dedication of the people here and across Alberta, ag brings in billions of dollars every year while also putting food on tables for families here and abroad. When it comes to the economic impact ag brings to our province, the proof is truly in the numbers. In 2022, the agri-food industries, including crop and animal production, food and beverage manufacturing, and agricultural support services, contributed a little over $11 billion to the province's GDP. Now that's up 2021. Not only that, the agricultural industry saw the largest percent gain in all sectors in 2022. I'm also proud of the strong push Alberta has made in the past couple of years to attract investment into the agri-food sector. Currently, Alberta is ranked third among provinces in food manufacturing sales, representing an important economic opportunity for the province. In 2022, food manufacturing set yet another record, reaching close to $32 billion, with strong growth in meat product manufacturing, grain and oilseed milling, and dairy product manufacturing. To ensure that this growth continues, our government announced the Agri-Processing Investment Tax Credit last February, an important program that will help Alberta remain competitive with competing jurisdictions, and that was incredibly important. This agri-food processing investment tax credit, we're not just competing against other provinces, we're competing against jurisdictions all across North America and the world for this investment, and it really has even the playing field and made Alberta a beacon for that investment. As critical contributors to Alberta's economic success and the well-being of folks across our province, our government remains committed to supporting growth where we can and helping our farmers when times are tough. Now, as you know, last year was extremely tough in many areas of the province with dry conditions across a lot of the south. Of course, we're all still hoping and praying for more precipitation this winter, but we're not going to sit back and just cross our fingers and hope for the best. Government has set up a drought command team, which at the beginning of this month started discussions with water license holders to strike water sharing agreements and what that may look like. And I say may, we don't know what the outcome is yet. We're trying to make sure everyone does their part to reduce their water use and ensure our producers have what they need. I will say this over and over again. I will not be satisfied with individuals watering their lawns in large metro centers when there has to be restrictions put on farmers and ranchers that feed our families here and abroad. Now, government is also working on a drought emergency plan. It's at the top of our minds when we're meeting with communities, farmers, and businesses to prepare for the upcoming growing season. Most recently, as well, we set up a drought advisory committee made up of leaders in agriculture, irrigation, Indigenous industry, rural, and urban communities. They'll be meeting regularly to debate and discuss drought preparedness and response plans in order to identify long-term solutions and understand that it was imperative that we did this. Starting back in August last year, we knew there could be great challenges this year with how our reservoirs were drawn down and the fact that we knew El Nino was here. So we are working and looking at every single option, and we've already seen additional gains that we can have in both how we provide as much water to fill our reservoirs up in our irrigation districts, but also how we manage water overall and how we assess non-essential uses and communicating that within our large urban centers to make sure people are aware. Our farmers and ranchers have done an incredible job. It's not the first time they've seen drought. But when it comes to our large metro centers, it was important to bring this to the forefront because a lot of individuals in these large urban centers don't understand the importance of water, the finite resource that it really is, and that the less water goes down to food production and for growing crops really does mean that they will see food inflationary costs in the grocery store. Now, as well, there's plenty of work going on across the province, including several irrigation modernization and expansion projects. Irrigation is key to Alberta's agricultural industry, especially here in the south, which is why we partnered with federal government and 9 irrigation districts on $933 million in investment in irrigation modernization and expansion, the largest of its kind in Alberta's history. Now, many of the projects are focused on increasing efficiency so that irrigation districts are able to do more within their given allocations. Several of them are finishing up over the winter, and I look forward to seeing the impacts of these projects this summer. These projects are an enormous undertaking and require an innovative approach. Now, when I traveled across and we were over in Asia, it was actually very interesting to see. First of all, our agri-food processing investment tax credit was extremely well received. But when we talked about the potential in Alberta, when it comes to irrigation, that really drew a lot of interest in how Alberta is the place to invest. And this was from a conservative estimate in just stating every time we convert dry land crop to irrigated land, I think we can conservatively say that it increases production by 200%. Now, when we see the global demand growing and continuing to grow with forecasts of it increasing by 200% in the next 15 to 20 years, and long-term dedication to investment in irrigation is going to be essential as Alberta continues to grow in this space. Now, fortunately, ag is packed full of a lot of innovative thinkers. We are aiming to attract and encourage even more innovators through the Sustainable Canadian Agricultural Partnership. As Parliamentary Secretary Hunter covered earlier, Sustainable CAP is a federal provincial investment of over $500 million that aims to stimulate job creation and spur growth in agriculture. Funding is available under programs dedicated to emerging opportunities, value-added processing, water management, and much more. One program in particular, the water program, is especially helpful these days. It offers grants to help producers secure, protect, and manage viable on-farm water sources and improve their on-farm irrigation setup's efficiency. If you've got an idea for a project that you think will benefit the industry, I encourage you to check out what Sustainable CAP has to offer. As we look ahead to the coming growing season, I want producers to know that we are here to support you. We've increased overall loan limits for the Feeder Association Loan Guarantee Program to $150 million and increased individual loan limits to $3 million. These increases will help offset rising livestock prices and encourage new entrants into the sector. Last fall as well, we committed $165 million through the Canadian Alberta Drought Livestock Assistance Initiative. This will help livestock producers bounce back after last year's drought. After the program opened, we heard from producers across the province that more regions should be included in the program. So in January, we did just that, expanding it to 23 more regions and extending the deadline so that more producers could benefit. And I want to be clear, when I went to the feds on this recovery program, I was clear I wanted a province-wide approach. That negotiation ran into a lot of challenges with the feds. They wanted a map and wanted it to apply to only certain regions. Unfortunately, we couldn't come to an agreement to open up the whole province, but we have been able to work with them and put additional pressure on them to open up these additional 23 regions. I'm glad they've done that, but I'm still a little disappointed that it didn't apply to the entire province. With that as well, we also reopened agri-stability last year for late participation and doubled the low yield allowance threshold so insured producers could salvage additional cereal or pulse crops for livestock feed. With that in mind, I encourage producers to sign up for it this year, as it's a low-cost way to protect your farm from large declines that may threaten its viability. You can sign up now until the end of April, and more info is available at AFSC's website. As well, as we move forward with our engagements with the federal government, I'm looking forward to having conversations, as they are a partner in our business risk management programs, on things that farmers and ranchers here in Alberta would like to see as to changes to better those risk management programs. I look forward to any feedback anybody wants to provide to us that I can share with the federal government. Now, with MDI and the water pumping program, there are many programs that can help you be prepared for the unexpected, but I do and have been encouraging these programs in the past, as well as all of AFSC's programs and the suite of business risk management programs that they offer. Please reach out to them and find one that fits your operation. These are going to be crucial risk management mitigation strategies if we do see a severe drought this year. And of course, one I do and have been highlighting, as I mentioned, is the moisture deficiency insurance, which is open to applicants until February 29th. It offers insurance coverage on native, improved bush or community pasture land during dry conditions. Last year, it provided more than $326 million to producers affected by dry conditions. There's also been improvements to this program, including one of which that we are paying out monthly to ensure we get money into the hands of producers quicker and faster. Now, government also has water pumping programs available to producers. Now, they're available from April to October. These programs offer pipe and pumping equipment rentals to help you fill your dugout if needed. If you find yourself in need during the warmer months, I recommend checking this out. No program is perfect, of course, As I mentioned, we will continue to work with you to improve these programs, so your feedback is needed. Now, agriculture built this province, and it's the hard work of farmers and ranchers that keep this billion-dollar industry going forward during these hard times. After all, and I've said this over and over again, without farmers, there's no food. Ag is also an economic backbone of our rural communities like Medicine Hat, which is why in January I was glad to announce the money that is going to be rolling out to the agricultural societies through the Infrastructure Revitalization Program. Among the 34 recipients across Alberta, the Medicine Hat Exhibition and Stampede Grounds received $100,000 to help with structural repairs to the grandstand here. And I look forward to continuing this program and strengthening it, understanding the important work that ag societies do for our rural communities all across Alberta. In conclusion, I just want to thank the Medicine Hat and District Chamber of Commerce for putting on this forum. I hope everybody has great conversations, makes connections. Just in closing, on behalf of myself and Grant Hunter, my parliamentary secretary, we are deeply honored to be representing agriculture in the province of Alberta. We have something to be very, very proud of. Around the globe, Alberta is seen as having the highest quality product, and that is from all the hard work that every one of you put in. So thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day.